Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. My name's Teresa and I'm the Carbootcrafter, and I'm coming on today with this cute little wallet. I think I'm going to use it with Happy Mail because it's a great stash buster for using up your 12 by 12 papers, but it's also really quick and easy to make. And you can use it either as a little wallet, which you've got tags at the front, you've got tags at the back, like that, and then in the middle you've got, so you can use it as a notebook or you can use it as an album, and you've got more in the middle there as well, and plenty of little pockets inside as well to tuck some ephemera or some notes or whatever you whatever you want to. And it closes over, you pop that tag back in properly, closes over with a little velcros closer as well. So it's really simple, really simple. All you need is two pieces of paper or thin card and one velcros dots or whatever. These are little dots, but any size really that will fit under your tag at the front. And I've put a thank you sticker on there because I'm going to put it in Happy Mail or as thank you mail. So I've put a thank you sticker on there, but you could do a little stamp or whatever on there that you fancy, or just decorate it with a butterfly. So you'll need a 12 by 12 piece of paper. Now the rest of my measurements are going to be in centimeters just because it's easier to do. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to make sure that your piece of card, your base, which will form this part of the little mini album, is 30 centimeters by 29 centimeters. So I've cut off that end, so that's just over a centimeter wide, but I'm keeping that because we're going to need it. That'll be the bit that we use for our closure. So I'll pop that to one side and keep it. And now we've got a piece that is 30 centimeters by 29. We'll also need an A4 piece of, well, white card in this case, but any colour you want that goes with your base card. And what you're going to do is you're going to cut it in a particular way, because otherwise you might end up having to use more than one sheet. So the first cut you're going to make is at 13 centimeters. So you get that. So this half of the card you're going to cut down to 28 centimeters. So this piece now is 13 by 28, and we keep that. We don't need this piece. And then from this piece, this thin piece we've got, we're going to cut out two pieces that measure 13 centimeters by 7 centimeters, and then we've got this piece left over, which is what I use to punch out my circles from there, and we don't need these two pieces. So as you can see, there's very little wastage as long as you cut along the lines as I've suggested. So I'm going to pop this to one side because we'll do that bit later, and I'm going to bring back in my 12 by 12 or 30 centimeters by 30 centimeters piece that I've cut down to 30 by 29. So this is the 29 edge because that's where that came from. So I'm going to turn it round, and what I want to do is fold it in half along the long edge. So if you wanted to, this is all, I'm going to have that to the outside and this is the inside. So if you want to, you can use a scoreboard. So what you're going to do is score at 15 centimeters, but this is a no fancy tools project. So I'm going to use a bone folder, but if we're going no fancy tools, you might want to use the back of your scissors or whatever you've got to hand. So all we've done is very simply fold that in half. Then we're opening it out again, and I'm going to fold these edges in half again. So I'm bringing this edge in to meet that that crease line there. So we fold it into 4 3/4. So buff that up to that crease line, making sure that these edges are straight. And again, finger crease or use whatever you've got to hand to bone fold it. Turn it round and do the same on this side. So very carefully bring it up to that score mark, and then make sure these edges are both lined up like that, and fold it flat like that, and fold it down. Okay, once you got to that point, open it up again, and what we're going to do is we're going to work on these 4 corners now. So the way I do it is I pop my fingernail or my finger on that crease there, because what I want to do is fold this corner up so that this outer edge here, so this edge here, lines up with this crease mark here. And if I put my fingernail there, it stops it going any further on the bottom. So do be very careful not to go further over than the crease mark. And then using your fingers and whatever you've got to hand, crease that flat. And you're going to do that on all 4 edges. So using your crease, put a finger there to hold it, making sure that that card doesn't go beyond that crease mark, and then finger creasing it down, and then using something to fold it down completely. And again on that edge, and last one. Now what you can do is, if you feel the need, you can glue these down, but as you'll see in a minute, there's no real need to do that. So we've got those all 4 corners folded down, so we've got those nice edges, and we're just going to fold those back in like that. Now you may recognise this if you've been around for a long time, because they used to do little wallets and purses like this. So there we go. I am going to use my bone folder this time, just because I can get a full, really quickly get a full score going on there. Okay, once you got to that point, as you can see, you've got our folded pieces there on the inside. You're going to flip it over, and now you're going to fold up one. It doesn't matter whether you start at the top or the bottom. I just find it easier to start at the bottom, and you're going to fold it up to, let me fold it up and then I'll explain how and where I'm folding it up to. Right, so there. So what we're doing is we want to make sure that this V here is at the bottom of the fold like that. So let me fold that down flat. So you can see what I've done is I haven't come any further. I haven't brought it up any further than that. So I've not brought it up like that, and I've not cut that down too much there. I've tried to get roughly about the bottom of those V folds, that V fold there. Okay, so that's what I've done that end. I'm going to do exactly the same this end. So bringing that up and folding it up where that V is, and while I'm doing it, I'm also making sure that these edges line up nice. There will be a little bit of fight with your card, but get it as straight as you can. There we go. And again, using your bone folder or the back of your scissors, or even the handle of a knife, or even a spoon will do. So now we've got that. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to tuck one into the other. So what I tend to do at this point is have a look and see if one is ever so slightly thinner or narrower than the other. This one is, just because the way I folded it, ever so slightly smaller across the top than the other one. So I'm tucking that in, and again I'm going to get my bone folder and just reinforce all those creases going forward like that. Once we've got to there, push that down and you can fold it in half. That was the first fold that we made, so it folds in half really easy. And once again, I'm reinforcing all of that as much as I can. Okay, this is now where I get my 1 centimetre. This I've had to cut a little bit off to get to 30 centimetres, so I think this is probably 30.1 or 2 centimetres on here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my little wallet and I'm going to decide which way round I want it. Do I want it like that, or do I want it so it matches like that? And actually what I might do, just had a thought on that, if I turn it that way round, yes, no, I thought that might match. It does, but it's odd, isn't it? Hold on. Now, let me think. If I just snip a little bit off the bottom. This is me just being a little bit pernickety with my patterns. I pop that back in there, bring that down, and I'm going to see if I can match that up. Can I match that? Yes, look, I can match that up. They're different colours, but I actually quite like that. So now what I'm going to do is, this is the bit that I was tucking inside there, and what I want to do is put glue on that side so that it sticks against the back of that pocket. I don't want it sticking against here, I want it sticking against the back of it. So let's get my glue out. See if that's, no, I think that, yeah, that one's blocked up. Let's get my other one instead. Yeah, that's a bit better. Even with those in, I do find sometimes they do clog up, but these are really good for helping keep it at least open a little bit. So I'm just gonna, so I've got a bit of a bend there where it came out, so I'm just going to put glue just below where that bend starts and all the way to the bottom like that. So I think I've got enough there. So I'm going to pop that in and I'm going to bi-eye it to the middle. So that's about the middle. Okay. Before I push that down, I'm going to bring this over and I'm going to see where that's, I think that green and the pink went together, didn't they? So let me pull that out just a little bit. I'm just going to line that up. It's nice and straight. You won't have to, well, it depends on the papers you're using and how you feel about them, but this is just me being a bit fussy with these papers. Right, there we go. I'm going to pinch that down like that. I'm going to leave it long for now. Right, I'm going to pop that to one side to dry, and I'm going to bring in this long 28 by 13 centimetres piece. Now if you've got a scoreboard, you're going to score it every 7 centimetres, so 7, 14 and 21. If you haven't got a scoreboard, then do as I'm doing. Fold it in half like that and crease down that edge, again using whatever you've got to hand to crease it down. And once you've done that, open it up and bring this edge to meet that crease there like that, paying attention to the sides so that they don't go skew-iff. And again, finger crease that, flip it over and do the same on the other side. So there we go, both sides. And what you end up with is a piece of card that's either an M or a W, depends which way round you're folding it, but that's what you end up with. Okay, and this then tucks inside the middle piece of your wallet. So you've got that bit, so this piece I'm going to tuck in this side, and that then hides all the workings inside your wallet. So that goes in there, and then this piece, so this end tucks in this side like that. Just slides in like that, and that gives you that middle piece like that. And if you wanted, and if you've got longer pieces of card, or I suppose you could even join, you could make this even bigger. So this was 28, so if you took it to 28, 56, then you could get a lot more in here, and you would do it again every 7 centimeters, or fold it in the same way I have, but you'd fold it again. Okay, so that's that. Then we've got these 2 pieces that we cut that were 13 by 7. So that one pops in there like that. This one, hoping that's dry, this one pops in the back like that. Very simple. And now all we have to do is sort out our closure. So let's pop that there and bring in. Now the only fancy thing I've got is this, which I'm using to do 2 circles on here. And I also have, where did I put them? Not those ones. Oh, where have I put those? Did have them here a minute ago, and of course I put them down and lost them. Oh, right under my eyes, right under my nose. So I've got some thank you stickers, which is what I'm using, but use whatever you've got to hand, or you know, whatever you fancy using on them. So I'm going to take that one off, and I'm sticking it on. Do you remember that piece of card that we had left over from the A4, cutting the A4? And I'm just going to pop that on there like that. And I know that that's 1 inch. I know that this is a 1 inch punch. So I'm just going to turn that over, line it up and punch. So there's the front. And just because I'm doing one for the back as well. So, and now we don't need that piece. So what I'm going to do is line that back up and deciding where I want it. I can have it high, I can have it low. I'm going to put it about here, I think. Wrong one. Or is it? Yeah, that's clogged again. Excuse me 1 second while I just unclog with my these are so useful, these little things, because they go into the bottles as well. So right, I'm lining that up like that, and I'm going to put a bob of glue on here just like that, and I'm going to put my thank you on the top like that. There we go. And then letting it go, I'm going to put the other piece on the bottom so that I'm hiding all those workings there. And it also strengthens it a little bit as well. So I'm making sure I've gone all the way around on the glue. And I'm very carefully lining that up and pushing that down onto there. I'm going to use my bone folder because I just like to make sure that the glue has had contact with all of that. So next thing I need is my Velcro dot. So I'm just going to take it off the one carrier. I just want to make sure that that's on straight like that. That one was a little bit skew-iff, wasn't it? So that's on straight. So I'm just going to pop that in the middle of that circle and take the other carrier sheet off, and then I'm going to line up, there we go, lining up as I wanted. I mean, I didn't do any of this lining up or messing around with the other one, because as you can see with this one, it's the same pattern as this and there's nothing to line it up with. I was actually going to go with that side, but by the time I put the glue on and thought about it, I realised I'd glued up the wrong side. But but there you go, you live and learn. So then what you need is a pair of scissors, and cut it off where you feel comfortable. So I'm going to cut it off just there. And if you want to, you can corner around those edges. You can decorate it up even more if you want to. But this is going in Happy Mail, so I'm not going to do too much decoration on it. I might bob a butterfly or a little flower or something on there. This now is scrap. I don't need that. So there we have another quick and simple album, or in this case this is going to be for Happy Mail. So, and let me close that back over and show you. And if you wanted an extra retail, you've got two little pockets in there. Let's open this one and get them out, that your pieces can go into if you want to. So you can slide those in there as well, like that. Those will go all the way in. So you might want to do a little finger lift with your hole punch before you finish, and make that an extra little pocket in there, in which case you've got the middle bit. So you'd have the middle bit, the two pockets inside, and the two pockets on the outside, like that. So lots of spaces and little tuck spots for you to put things into. I'll leave that there for now. This one is because that was still damp, that's ripped a little bit, but I'll repair it in a minute. So, and yes, lots of little extra tuck spots to put things in, and because these are folded over, they don't catch or rip as readily as if they were open. So yeah, another little mini album, Happy Mail, or whatever, little notebook, whatever you want it to be, with lots and lots of retail for writing and photos or ephemera. So yeah, quick and simple, and a great way to use up your 12 by 12 papers on these as well. So yeah, so I'll see you all in the next video. Take care and bye for now.